Anders Lindstrom, Vice President, Remanufacturing VOLVO, who stayed in Pakistan as the project director VOLVO from 1996 to 2000, shares his experience of working for VOLVO from Pakistan, observations on the transport industry, and advice to foreign industries based on those observations.
And now I'm working as Vice President for remanufacturing in VOLVO Group Trucks operations.
Which actually makes me realize that I'm sure there's a lot of evolution as well in this, right?
Yeah.
You've been working with VOLVO for about 35 years.
35 years plus. Yes, that's right.
That's like a lifetime. That's 1 year less of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how that works. I mean, like my generation probably won't understand that phenomena, working with an organization. You know, joining an organization as a first job and still being with it, right?
But it's an extraordinary organization.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
What does extraordinary entail for you?
It's an organization that offers, I mean, it's a tremendous internal labor market in the VOLVO Group.
Okay.
We are active in more than 100, and I think we are active in 120 plus different markets over the world. We have operations. We are on all continents basically, and we are close to 100,000 employees throughout the world. So I mean, I don't need a bigger labor market to move in. So I think it's a labor market of fantastic opportunities altogether. So I have never felt any attraction to leave the group. Because
and you haven't felt any attraction to join another group as well?
No, I haven't.
Your company has been motivating you and keeping you grounded enough with itself.
Yes.
On different levels for that.
Yes.
How?
I have been.
What means?
I would say I have had the opportunity to move around, to have a number of different positions in the VOLVO Group, predominantly within manufacturing.
Okay.
And so I mean, I have made an internal career in the group, and that has been, how should I say, it has been good enough for me. It has been extremely exciting, and I think what the VOLVO Group stands for attracts me. I mean, it's a company that stands for good values. We stand for quality, we stand for safety, and we stand for good environment. And I mean, we are talking about sustainability, we are talking about equality, we are talking about diversity, and I think it's very much embraces my own values, and I think that is a very important reason why I'm staying.
So it's basically the principles of the organization that we stick around with as employees.
Yes.
Right. And that's how we look at growth as well. Growth within the certain environment that we can be committed with.
Yes.
Okay. You were working in Pakistan for some time as well.
Yes.
Between 1996 and 2000. This was also a time of immense change in Pakistan, right? So how was your working experience here at that time, and why were you in this market at that point in time?
Beginning of the 90s, first half of the 90s, I think we had a very good economy evolution in Pakistan. There were a lot of investment spent. Foreign investors came into Pakistan. Spent money on infrastructure, spent money on, let's say, building the country. And while doing that, you need transport capacity, you need construction transport capacity, you need long-haul capacity.
True.
So we actually came into a positive momentum where we were selling a lot of products here. And somewhere in 1995, it was decided to we made an evaluation of the market that it was sustainable enough, and it was in a position where we thought that we could further expand our operation here by moving into Pakistan with an industrial operation. So that was really the background. We thought we could penetrate a larger portion of the market, stretch into new segments of the market, but while being here locally with a local operation.
Talking about some of your key observations regarding the transportation industry in Pakistan, what do you think we can learn from you, or Pakistan can learn from your observations? What's your advice?
I realize that it's an enormous complex problem, of course, so I don't have all answers, but I think there are a couple of items that I would like to stress. One is coming back to environment. I believe that the country should put some kind of legislation or some kind of incentive program into the business with the purpose of taking out old machinery. I must say I've seen one very positive example since I left Pakistan 15 years ago, and that's the rickshaws here in Lahore. Yeah. 15 years ago they were operating on two-stroke petrol, and they were absolutely destroying the air in the city. Today they are operated on propane or something equal to that, some gas, and it makes a big difference. So I believe some kind of incentive program or enforcement program to take out old machinery for the sheer purpose of emission standard would help. That could be one way to so to say start modernizing the transportation fleet in the country, and it will give a number of positive effects. By coming in with new machinery, you will lower the cost of fuel per ton kilometers transported, and the environment will be safer.
Maintenance as well. You know, like a lot of your money is actually spent on the maintenance of a vehicle when it's not new and it's not working efficiently.
That's right. That's right. And I think that will start driving the uptime issue, because if you so to say incentivize investment in more modern machinery, you don't need to stand at workshop. You will have the opportunity to operate more efficiently. The second point that I would like to stress is also about legislation or rather enforcement of legislation. When I was working here back in 1990s, the fantastic motorway between Islamabad and Lahore was commissioned. And to my big sorrow, I noticed that only a year after the road was badly damaged. And why was it damaged? It was damaged due to overloads. And if you look at the typical truck of Pakistan, the traditional Pakistani truck, it's a truck with a front axle and a rear axle, and a tremendous load on.
Of course.
So it means that on two single axles you put a tremendous load on each wheel, and this is destroying the roads. So it destroys and it warns out the infrastructure investments that you have done in the country prematurely. So that's another thing that you need to deal with. So enforcement of vehicle weight is of the essence. And what is the solution then? Because then you could say, okay, so you say we shouldn't load that much on the trucks, but then it will be more expensive. And my answer to that is that you need to work with trucks with longer configurations. You need to work with more axles. The prime movers is an excellent example, for instance, where you have a tractor in front, where you have a 3-axle tractor, you have a front axle, and you have 2 rear axles. I realize this becomes very technical now.
But it's also taking us back to the same point which you've been stressing upon, that the machinery needs to be changed.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Now you're getting into the mechanics of why the machinery is not working.
Yep.
But basically the crux of the situation is that those trucks need to go and they need to be replaced with new ones, because they're also hampering our newer projects.
That's right.
Like the motorway project, the road has been hampered by bad trucks, perhaps.
Yeah, you're destroying the roads by allowing old trucks operate with heavy overloads. So instead of having many small units with only 2 axles, you can replace the transportation fleet with larger units with more axles. And I think, for instance, I can quote National Logistics Cell, which is a big transportation organization in the country. They do operate with prime movers. Okay. So in that sense, they have a modern fleet, because they are operating with 3-axle tractors and 3-axle trailers. And they can take a tremendous load without destroying the road, because they are distributing the load over more axles, over more wheels. And that is the beauty thing.
Yeah, because growth is not hampering your foundations.
No.
Right?
No,
yeah.
not at all.
And on that note, we were also talking about the fact that you're talking about a fleet of new transportation systems. We've been hearing about VOLVO sending more than 400 buses to Pakistan for a certain project, with the motorway, right? Do you think that's a good change? Do you think VOLVO is going to do the job in a better way with better buses, or are the same old things going to be used?
I mean, I think it's worth stating that 15 years ago it came in a new standard of long distance transport buses, coaches into the country. And that was a major leap in public transportation over longer distances. Now has VOLVO, as I understand, I'm not very much updated because this is actually happening now, but I understand that VOLVO has got the opportunity now to step in and supply buses for the next period in time. And of course, the VOLVO buses will be superior to the buses that we have seen during the last 15 years, because they are 15 years older.
Oh, that's great news.
So I mean, you will have a completely new standard again. It will be another giant leap of comfort, of service level for the passengers, and so it's.
So is this only a motorway project, or are these buses? Do you have any idea if these buses are going to move within cities as well?
As far as I know, those buses will not be moving in cities, but bear with me, I'm not very updated on this subject.
How was your experience of living in Pakistan, not just working in Pakistan? And I'm sure you made a lot of memories. Some people say that it's like very difficult to stay here. Right? And then I also want to talk to you about the fact that what would you like to advise foreigners living here, or foreign industry beginning to set up working here?
I mean, if we start with the business side, I think it's very important, and as I said, we were able to start production in very short time, and I think it's extremely important to have a good local partner when you enter. Someone who knows the local terrain, as I used to say, and the blend of having the local expertise in how to do business, how to move around, blended with let's say the expertise coming from the company that is going to induct something. I think that is the mixture that is important for success.
True. How to get things done in a certain environment.
Exactly. So I think that was an important reason why we managed to get into production that fast. Living and working in Pakistan as a foreigner, how should I say? There is a culture shock, of course. There is a big difference from living in Europe, from Northern Europe, from where I come. I think either you like it or you not like it. I think the most important thing to put in your suitcase when you are coming to a very different country is openness and respect. I think we have to remember when we are coming to a country like I did, never been here before. I think you have to respect and to understand that you are entering into a context where you have very little understanding for, and I think you can contribute in a very limited way, but I think the way to contribute is by having respect, showing openness. And I think Pakistan is and the Pakistani culture is a fantastic culture when it comes to hospitality. I have never, I can't recall, I've never been met with so much hospitality and friendliness as I meet here in Pakistan. It's an enormous, it's almost that you feel, I shouldn't say embarrassed, but I mean you are very welcome here, and I think it's important to return that very nice atmosphere and that very nice how should I say?
Reciprocal.
Yes.
Because this is what I'm learning from what you just said, that as Pakistanis, when we go anywhere else in the world to work or for any personal motive or something like that, we need to have a more open perspective rather than a more judgmental one.
Exactly.
What you're actually saying the same about the Pakistani environment.
Exactly. And I think that is also the key to success in the environment, because if you are open and if you meet with respect, I think you get a lot in return.
You respect your organization and you get a relationship with them for about 35 years as far as you are concerned.
Exactly. And it's the same when you're entering into a new environment, like a new country.
Yeah, as well.
Openness and respect.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Anders, for the knowledge that you shared with our viewers.
Thank you very much.
And of course, we're going to see you in print as well.
Okay.
With the publication.
Very good.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.